Okay, so today we're going to make some garlic herb salt with 5 cloves of garlic, about half a cup of real salt, which is a really great mineral-rich salt. This is a kosher style, so it's a bit of a thicker grain, larger grain of salt. You can kind of see there. And then we also have some oregano, some rosemary, and sage from the garden. The rosemary I actually scavenged from a neighbor because for some reason I just have a real hard time growing it around here. But it's everywhere in the Bay Area, so you can find it pretty much anywhere. What's interesting about this recipe is that you really end up using a lot more herbs than you do salt itself. The herbs end up being the majority of what you have in your salt, and the garlic, it's actually quite a bit of garlic as well. So the strategy here is going to be to chop up the garlic with the salt, just kind of gradually massaging almost the salt into the garlic as I chop. And then once that's well incorporated and the garlic is chopped pretty finely, I'll start adding the herbs in. So I'll go ahead and get started. Okay, so I've incorporated the salt and the garlic. You can see that there's still some chunks of garlic in there, and as we continue to incorporate the herbs, the garlic will get smaller and smaller. So I'm going to go ahead and add in some sage and some rosemary and some oregano. And I'm just going to do it piece by piece, just a little bit at a time, and then as the herbs get more incorporated and more finely chopped, I'll continue to add the rest of these in. Okay, so I've just about finished chopping this. You can see the greens are really well incorporated into the salt mixture. It's mostly green. There is, you can see the salt, but you can see just how green this garlic herb salt is. That's because we've got about a 3 or 4 to 1 ratio of herbs to salt in this mixture. You see that there's tons of color here. The salt actually is a little bit pink as well, but the color here really indicates that this is a very strongly herbed mixture. It's more herbs than salt. And it's great because you'll be able to use a lot more of it in your cooking and without having it be over salted. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to spread it out, and I'm going to allow it to dry actually overnight. And I could use it like this if I were cooking right this second, but what I'm doing is I'm actually creating some blends here so that I can give them as gifts. And that's why I'm doing so much of this at once. I want it to be shelf stable. I want to be able to give someone a dried garlic herb salt as a gift. And what it ends up turning out like, I actually did this already yesterday and I let it sit overnight. And what it ends up turning out like is this. So you can see the greens have lost a little bit of their color because they dried overnight. And then it's this nice fragrant salt that you can give as a gift. So that's pretty much it for today. I hope you enjoyed this video, and for more information and more great homemade gift ideas and recipes and healthy living tips, you can go to www.cultivatedwellbeing.com. Thanks so much and have a great day.